As the CEO of your own company, making the right investments is a good business strategy. After all, you've probably spent time, money, and energy into your development as an actor already. Growing your acting business is the next logical step. Now, this is where I see newbie actors making less than perfect decisions for themselves. The thinking goes something like this. I've already had acting classes, I've had new pictures taken, and now I am ready to be a professional. While it may seem reasonable to think this way, there is a vital component that is missing. That is, accounting for ongoing education in your plans. You see, I believe the actor must always improve their skills with classes, workshops, seminars, and, well, any other method of talent investment. Incorporating education into your business plan is critically important. Let's look at some of the ways this strategy can help you with your career goals. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach, and this is Casting Actors Cast.
It's time for another episode of Casting Actors Cast. Here he is, your host, Jeffrey Dreisbach.
Well, hello, and welcome to today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. I'm casting director Jeffrey Dreisbach with the McCorkle Group in New York. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. It's nice of you to be joining us today on this very special episode. This is a brand new episode of Casting Actors Cast, although I know that I've covered taking of classes in past episodes, but I think it's been quite a while since I really took it on. And I also have what I think is a new frame of reference that I'm excited to be sharing with you today. This is that moment of the podcast where I simply get to say thank you for tuning in to Casting Actors Cast. Listen, if you check out the website, castingactorscast.com, you're going to find all kinds of cool stuff on that website. You're going to find a form that says dive into the talent pool. And if you fill that out, there are some freebies for you. One is a class on doing voiceover work called Conversation Pieces Out of the Studio, the voiceover workshop for professional actors. Another is a video. These are absolutely free of charge, by the way, only for checking out the website. It's called Casting Secrets, What They Don't Tell You. It's a free video. It's about 20 minutes, and it really gives you, I think, some additional insights into what it is to be an actor. Also, this is that moment of the episode where I get to say thank you to my good friends at Actors Connection, actorsconnection.com/New York. Hello to my good friends, Colleen and Tony. So I've had a really excellent week so far in that I did do an EPA live, in person for Contemporary American Theater Festival. And it was so amazing to see some people I haven't seen in 3 years. And everyone came in and did a monologue, and it was really a lot of fun. So some of this information today, I think, might apply to some of those folks who came to that EPA. But then again, I think the philosophy that I'm trying to share today applies to everyone. One last word is just my sincere thanks for those of you who've left really nice reviews, thumbs up, likes, and have shared the podcast videos with their fellow actors. It means the world to me that you're doing so. The podcast continues to grow, and of course, I remain completely grateful. So please help me spread the word. Please consider, if this has been helpful to you, like today, why don't you consider leaving a review? Let other people know about us, especially on iTunes, because that sort of is the holy grail of getting the word out to other folks. I think close to 40% of you who are listening and partaking of this podcast are actually using iTunes. So that's why I'm making that suggestion. But anywhere you could leave a review. Also on YouTube, if you haven't checked it out, thanks so much. I appreciate all of the good words. All right, that's enough of that. Let's now move into taking classes as an investment and why I think it should be an ongoing consideration. And let's talk about some of the reasons why. First and foremost, it's simply a matter of learning something new. Specific new performance skills are a great way for you to gain more confidence as well as add versatility to your resume. So if you've had classes or training in theater, perhaps a film and television class is warranted. Another example, if you've had classes in improvisation just for the fun of it, well, you know what? Now might be a good time to take a commercial audition class. After all, auditions right now consist mostly of spontaneous performance. Improvisation is a really great skill for that. Here's another example of you've spent time and money in like a monologue class, then scene study is a great next step. You see, knowing what areas need improvement and what next steps to take makes sense for you and honestly is the best way to keep you moving forward. Here's another reason. It simply makes you more marketable when you take classes. When you embrace ongoing education, the investment you are making provides increased opportunities. I promise, because this can happen in many ways. First of all, you're going to be networking with new teachers. You're going to be meeting new actors. You're going to be growing your talent at the same time. I can't think of a better way to feel better about you as a professional than that. Now, second, you become ready with the skills that you embrace that are new, and it becomes a new experience for you. And then, of course, finally, the satisfaction of accomplishing a new skill is absolutely a mood changer for the better. It just makes sense, doesn't it? If you know more, then that means as an actor, you can do more. Here's another reason why I think I think classes make really good sense for actors, and that is the phrase that I've used before, which is work begets work. Now, what I mean by that is that when actors are actually acting, whether it's in a class or even when they're in a job, it always happens that new opportunities seem to simply reveal themselves. You know what? It's like, and I really believe this, the universe seems to move you into the next right thing when you are making an effort. Now, I'm not trying to get too woo-woo here, but I do think in my own experience as an actor, I've had the times when there were just these nothing happening, nothing going on, but suddenly when there was interest and I would get a call back or I would actually book a job, then suddenly other opportunities seem to reveal themselves. Now, I don't know if that's coincidence. I don't know if that's my agent having raised consciousness. It could be that. But for some reason, it always seemed to happen that way. Work begets work. The investment that you make in classes and workshops or seminars are simply going to move you into a new mental arena of professionalism, both internally and, of course, with the outside world. See, I've seen this happen too many times with others, and like I said, in my own life. All right, now, with this new understanding in place, here are some specific ways to find ongoing education opportunities. Number one, I want you to start locally. You know, wherever you are, there are classes in your area that might interest you. So make a concerted effort to find out what's happening in your area first before you decide to make dramatic sacrifices of your time and your money. Is there a college or a community college or a university that has some classes or a course that you might be able to take? You know what? We are so blessed that there are literally hundreds of training courses and seminars and workshops that are happening every day in New York. So I can't really speak to the quantity, but I can say that there are so many opportunities there. So if you are in a larger, greater metropolitan area, it's really worthwhile to check out what's happening in your area first. Now, how do you do that? Well, first, it's important that you determine what works for you, and then you simply check them out. Find out as much information as you can about that. Now, a little bit of a warning here. I'm not interested in having you spend more money. So don't spend too much money, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you made a financial commitment to a class only to find out it wasn't what you thought. That's kind of annoying, isn't it? I know you know that. So that's why I'm saying do your research. You know what? There are many free or low-cost alternatives that you should investigate before you make a higher-priced investment. Perhaps you could, for example, audit a session before you commit. Don't be afraid to ask. Now, I'm going to say this, that if you're unable to audit a class, it could be because there is a policy in place for the actors that are enrolled to have a safe working environment without other people observing. So don't just dismiss a class because you're unable to audit it. So I just wanted to put that out there. It might just be for enrolled actors. Also, I just want to share this, that you know what? There's this podcast called Casting Actors Cast, the one you're listening to right now. If you haven't invested some time and some energy into some of these past podcasts, I think, frankly, and I know this is sounding very, very self-serving here, but I am doing my very best to provide as much comprehensive information. I want it to be content-rich, and I've gone back over 3 years of material. So listen, for free, you could go back and listen to several podcasts about what it is to be a professional in the industry. I think that might be a great triggering point for you to feel better, feel more comfortable, and feel more confident. All right, that wasn't meant to be a commercial, but there it is. Here's another suggestion. I don't see this happening as often as you would think, but that is, I think it's really valuable to reach out to others. Referrals are the single best way to find out about teachers, about casting directors who teach, or industry professionals offering a seminar. All you need to do is just make it known to your friends, to your acquaintances, to your peers that you are looking for new training opportunities in your social media postings, for example, or when you are starting to show up to auditions, EPAs. I promise you're going to be amazed at how many folks want to tell you about a new class or a new workshop or a new training session. Okay, now I know this might sound silly as well, but there are rehearsal studios in New York like Ripley, Greer, and Pearl Studios. And oftentimes you're going to find bulletin boards where actors hang out, always promoting new classes. So just keep an eye open. Something might just strike you. All right, let's move on from there. The other additional advantages with taking a class is, and this is, I think, really helpful, and that is simply connecting with professionals. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not trying to do that again now. Really, this sounds very self-serving, but you know what? Just taking a 3 or 4 session class with a casting director, an agent or manager, or even a director who's currently working is by far the best way to gain industry attention. Now, even if that instructor doesn't bring you in for a meeting or for an audition, at least you're going to have still gained the insight and experience because of who they are in the business. It is still a great way to feel really good about yourself because it humanizes industry folks who may seem intimidating or unpredictable. So seeking out casting directors or agents that are actually able to teach well is an excellent, excellent way for you to simply get more connected. After all, we're all trying to make a better creative environment to do our best work, aren't we? I think so. So that's something to consider as well. Well, there you have it. There is a case to be made for making classes, workshops, seminars part of your acting investment strategy. It is as important as finding an agent, having great pictures, or attending auditions. I know that also it can be a burden to make this kind of investment. After all, financially speaking, it can be a real strain on some actors. I get it. I completely understand. I know that with careful planning, though, with strategic decision-making, and with diligent research, it is going to be well worth it as your career makes positive steps forward. Please let me know what you thought of this podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach. This is Casting Actors Cast.
Thank you for joining Casting Actors Cast. Please don't forget to review, like, and share Casting Actors Cast wherever you get your podcast videos. Thanks. I'm Megan Grace Martinez.